Good morning, everyone. This morning, we're going to be diving into 10 skills that we must have, develop, and incorporate to become the best entrepreneurs we can be. All of these I'm trying to grow daily. I thought it'd be a fun exercise to start Monday morning off with some of the skills maybe we could be looking into. Maybe there's one or two of them that could really get you to the next level. I know there's a few I'll be focusing on, so I'll give some extra examples for that. But cheers, friends. Enjoy the morning show episode. Gonna be a banger, folks. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Terry Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best person you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Wishing you all a good morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. It is Monday morning. I hope we all had a great Easter, whether you practice or not. It's interesting, this before we get too into it, this is episode 487 coming at you this morning. Road to 1,000. We ain't stopping anytime soon. So keep coming back to you live Monday morning, 9 a.m. this time. So yesterday was Easter, and sometimes with holidays, whether you're Christian, you're religious, or you have other varying beliefs, I never know what to say when someone says, "Oh, I don't practice Easter," even though you're kind of just wishing a general holiday, even though you don't believe in it. Do you say, "Oh, I don't practice Easter, but you have a good Easter"? Do I say, "You have a good day"? Or anyway, just a random side thought. I was curious what other people thought, but either way. So we're not talking about Easter too much this morning. We're talking about entrepreneurship. And we're going to go over these 10 skills this morning. And turns out we can't do everything all at once. Can't do it all at once, folks. So what can we do is we can work at them one at a time. And I know there's a few of these. I'll go ahead and I'll circle. We'll do an exercise at the end. So stick with us all the way through the end to kind of get the full exercise. But we'll be picking a couple of these along the way. But we got a long laundry list to go through. So let's go ahead and get right to the work. What is the first skill that an entrepreneur needs? I believe it is vision. This is the second week for when I'm working with entrepreneurs, when we're taking them through the 1PLP program, and I'm sitting down with people in meetings and this and that. We do a lot of work on creating a vision, establishing it, and just enhancing our creativity. How can we bring this vision to life? I think this is a skill many entrepreneurs have, and this is one I'm continuing to develop. And with most of these skills, we'll see that none of this stuff is set in stone. I used to believe that I needed a specific vision. It has to happen this way and that way, and I got to have a team of 8 members. I have to have this many people going on. It has to be this way, it has to be that way, versus this is something that is ever changing. Ever changing is our vision for the direction that we're trying to head. So keeping that in mind, as the vision that I had in the past when I was a real estate agent in Chicago versus the vision I have now as a coach, a business coach. I emphasize on social media and getting clients through that. And so how's the vision changed? But I think having this down, even a rough one, is very, very good. If you want to reach out to me, if you really need help creating any of these steps, please don't hesitate. I got some free stuff I can give you, but having that vision coming in at number one, seeing where we want to go. It's hard to get to the vacation spot when we don't know where we want to go. So number one comes in at vision. Number two that we have on our list is resilience. Instead of this, I'm just going to put down consistency, because consistency that rings a little more true for me. Consistency for me is just showing up day after day after day and continuing to do the things that I say I'm going to do. I emphasize on this one because I struggle with this one. A lot of people struggle on this one. I literally coach consistency, and there's some things I'm not consistent with. I don't say that to take a shot at my business versus just being a human being. And there's not every single nook and cranny of our lives are we going to be able to do that with. So I think picking priorities, and we'll get to that, being able to pick the specific ones at the end that matter most to us. But being consistent, God dang, it pays off so good in the long run. Look at we're on episode 487, and my channel's not that big and this and that, but I've gotten a lot of clients just from talking to people and saying like, hey, I've been doing this, nearly 500 episodes. And it just shows that you care. It shows that you have experience. It shows a lot of things. So maybe that's one of the things. Maybe we just need to do something consistent this week. Maybe we need to do sales consistently. Maybe we need to do breathing exercises, taking a time to breathe a little bit, recenter ourselves as the chaos of the week rolls down. But what can we possibly do to be a little more consistent? Coming at number 2. Okay, number 3, as we're rolling right along, is flexibility. Being flexible. This one I have grown into this one tremendously, being flexible on the go. So one of the big realities in being an entrepreneur, especially when you're starting out, is you're probably going to have, if you're in a service-based business, you're probably going to have a ton of cancellations. I was actually supposed to have a guest on this morning, but unfortunately, he wasn't feeling good, sick, under the weather, and this stuff happens, right? And we can't be too deterred. We have to be able to be flexible. So something that I've really sharpened my skills on as an entrepreneur is when people cancel. When I was a real estate agent, I had a lot of people cancel on showings. And then now as a coach, I have a lot of people who cancel on meetings and stuff like that. It's an unfortunate part of business, but it happens, right? Granted, we want to use reminders and technology to follow up with people to try and minimize this as much as possible, but it's still going to be present. And when it does happen, none if, but when this does happen, we're flexible. We have backup. So for example, this morning show, say we grow a partnership together. You're trying to create a lot of content, have a show, you're trying to have a blog system or something to generate leads or to build credibility in a personal brand. We need a backlog, such as ideas for the show. Didn't have the guest on, but I got a slew of back ideas from our framework and our programs. Like, okay, I'll just grab this one and I'll talk about this one today. So continuing to stay flexible, not taking things personally, right? I used to take, when someone would cancel or when someone would do something, I would take it so personally, and it would just emotionally tear me up inside. And it was really hard to get back to work and to be creative, to stay consistent. These types of things, you can see how they really work together. Our next one up is risk management. Risk management. And this one, we'll talk about risk. So risk is an interesting concept in entrepreneurship. You probably heard in investing and just business in general, we want to mitigate our risk. Tony Robbins is famous for coining this term, asymmetrical returns. All upside, no downside. And you're like, how do you even put that together? So with risk management, I'm trying to get rid of the downside as much as possible and understanding my exposure. For example, my girlfriend and I, we have rental properties. We want to continue to pursue owning nicer pieces of real estate, just like Monopoly. We buy the crappy little houses, fix them up, move into nicer homes, keep moving up the chain for our investment portfolio. And because we have exposure in things like real estate, we have debt on this real estate, I personally am not going to be dabbling in things like cryptocurrency or the next hot thing that's on the internet, whatever it may be. Understanding our risk and how much you're willing to tolerate. If you're an entrepreneur, it could be how much risk you're willing to tolerate with possibly not having insurance. How much risk are you willing to tolerate with the variability in your income? Because of things like our rental properties in our portfolio, that way we've been able to mitigate things like this. And so mitigate our risks and be able to pursue my career with the things that I'm doing and this and that. But just this is a skill I think I'm continuing to evolve in. I want to grow. I want to be ambitious, but I don't want to be over leverage myself and lose it all. That happens to a lot of people, and that is something that we want to continue to avoid. And I think it's an essential skill. So maybe you're thinking of for yourself this morning, you're grabbing your coffee, you're journaling a little bit. How can I mitigate my own risk? What is my risk tolerance? What am I trying to put on the table? What's the reward? What's the downside? And just taking the time. It just takes work, time. Maybe you buy a $2 journal, or you hit me up and we set on a free call and we're just like, all right, what's the actual risk here? What's the return here? And what are my options? And just breaking down the numbers. The numbers don't care. So that's it can be to our to our advantage. The next up skill we have here is leadership. Coming in at number 5, leadership. Coming in at number 5, leadership. So I personally don't have any employees. I outsource the things that I do, whether it's graphic designers, marketing and sales, script writing. There's a lot of things that I've outsourced in the past, and I continue to outsource to contractors, to other people. Even in our real estate stuff, there's just certain things, working on furnaces and things like that, I just don't know how to do. So I pay a professional to do it. So leadership, I think, comes in this situation is being able to lead other people. Or maybe you're thinking, I just want to build my leadership skill in general, and I have a hard time getting away from this piece of advice when it comes to leadership. It's just, if you want someone to do something, do it yourself. So if you want someone who you care about to be sober, you want, someone you want them to not complain, or you want somebody to be more well-behaved, just act like that when you're in front of them. Lead by example. There's this old saying, it makes me laugh. A lot of conversations with my mother about it, just this whole do as I say, not as I do. That shit is total garbage. It never works. It's just not. Leading by example, people remember how you make them feel. And when you lead by example, I remember he always used to do that. That's really special, and I want to embody that. So maybe we can be the leaders ourselves. So if you don't want people to cancel or be late when you're owning a business or you're an entrepreneur, and don't be late and cancel yourself, and really try to minimize that. I've noticed I used to be late a lot in the past, and it took other people being late for me to realize how inconsiderate that is. And we really need to it's all about planning. And I live off of the calendar, and there's things that are just absolutely setting boundaries around. So leadership, like I hypothetically say that this morning show starts at 8:45 a.m. because it really starts at 9, and life is life. And sometimes you lose track of a couple minutes, whether you got to go to the bathroom or whatever. Either way, leadership, leading by example, crucial skill for entrepreneurship. So it made our list. Next one up is networking. Number 6 on our list is networking. Have you ever heard the idea coined by famously Jim Rohn? He talks about you are the average of the 5 people closest to you. You are the average of the 5 people closest to you. So if the people around you are really good at business, and they're really good at selling, and they're really good at chances are high tide's going to raise that ship. Or if you're friends, all they do is smoke weed, drink alcohol, watch TV, play video games, do these things. And what are you going to do? Chances are we are our network. We are the sum, the average of the people who we spend the most time with. If the people around you are loving and caring and supportive, high tide is going to raise that ship. We just want to make sure the point here is we want to surround ourselves with the people who have an alignment with our vision. Alignment with our vision, with the way that we want to do, that they are displaying the qualities of leadership in us. We are all leaders in this together, and we want to make sure that we understand this when it comes to network. One of the big things in here that I'm trying to improve on, So this might get one of my circles because we're going to pick 2 of these this week that we really want to improve on. So continue and stick with us until the very end for the exercise, folks. But the networking side, can I meet some new people? Does somebody know something that would be really helpful for me, such as how to set up your business? I know mentors have played a huge role in my life when it comes to networking. Not famously, but I talk about it a lot on the show. I wrote a lot of people handwritten letters who were doing really well in real estate in Chicago. And I got to meet my mentor that way. And he told me life is this and life is that. And it was life-changing experience. Can't even put a dollar value on it, but shout out to Rich, by the way. Either way, we want to grow our networks. We want to grow our networks and surround ourselves with the people. And we got to just get the word out. This is something I really do want to improve on, whether it's this morning show, just tell this is a free, zero-cost way to learn good stuff, to just be a better person. Start your mornings right. We're big believers in momentum here. That's why we start in the mornings. So maybe it's just getting the word out. Maybe you just need to tell people about what it is that you want to do. And maybe you need to surround yourself with a group of people because we do more for others than we do for ourselves. Whether that's good or bad, hard to say, up for interpretation, but I've found that in my personal experience to be very true. I'll do a lot more for other people than myself. All right. Next one up is finances. Financial management. Financial management, talking about the money. All right. So when it comes to investing, the biggest advice that I've gotten out of this is drive your expenses as low as possible in the beginning. Chances are we're not going to know how to make money. And this is a skill that I'm really trying to develop as I get more clients, as I'm raising my price points, as I'm trying to set myself up. Financial management is absolutely key. I recommend, so my mentor, well, he's my partner. I own an apartment building with him. Shout out to Blake. You're the absolute dog. This dude is savage in real estate. And he has this net worth tool on Excel. And if we plug in the numbers and I check it once a month, I only check this once a month. Should I be checking it weekly? Maybe. I don't know. With the stocks and the markets and equities and that stuff doesn't range too much within 30 days anyway. But you want to make sure that the number is going up, that your net worth is going up and not down. A lot of people, it's going down, and that is bad. We want it to go up. So some type of financial management, I think getting other people involved. So I used to be really embarrassed when I was first talking with, for example, Blake, shout out to the dog, but we, like, my net worth and my assets, my properties and stuff like that, my properties look ugly compared to his. I don't make nearly as much money. And I was kind of embarrassed. And if you can get over that embarrassment, because there's going to be people who are way richer than us who just they're just farther down the line. And that's good because, right, we talked about with networking, the high tide raises our ships. And that's what we really want. So with financial management, I personally was really embarrassed when I was first getting started. I was like, wow, I really don't have any money. I am broke, dude. And that's okay. Turns out nobody cares. And people just want to improve their own net worths. And once I got over the embarrassment, I started talking to them more about it. And it was like, okay, yeah, no, this tool works really well. The number's going up. And yeah, I need to have these actions are creating these results, and it's crazy what we can put together. But financial management, huge skill. Financial advisors, I don't know what to think with those guys. I love financial advisors, but I also don't, because sometimes the fees are pretty fat, but it just depends on the person. If you don't know what you're doing with money at all, definitely get a financial advisor. But if you have someone, like, for example, I have a mentor and someone who's really experienced and knows kind of like what to do with the money, I guess he's essentially my financial advisor. I just don't pay him anything. So that's a huge plus. But anyway, financial management, getting help on the money and getting over the embarrassment of not having money has been my biggest takeaway, because it's better to invest something than nothing. Better to invest something than nothing. All right, let's keep rolling, folks. All right, number 8 on our list as we're rolling through is communication. Communication, being able to communicate. Communication. All right. So being able to tell people what it is that you do, being able to tell people what it is that you want, being able to describe the vision, sell people on the vision. This is so crucial and necessary. Being able to communicate leads into these other, without the right communication, it's really hard to network. Without the right communication skills, it's really hard to be a leader. Without the right communication, it's hard to just live into that vision. So you can see how communication is so vital in being able to display what it is. What do we want and why do we want it? People buy into this purpose, this mission, this vision that we create. I have a vision that we're going to be able to use the online space in a very authentic way so people can just get over the muck, get the scammers out of the way and do real good business for good prices and just have high tide raises all ships and I'm so passionate about, we need more entrepreneurs. Some people are like, we don't need any influence. We don't need entrepreneurs. BlackRock's buying everything. We need to get in the game. We need as many people as we can to just drive in this. So I'm all on entrepreneurship and I want as many of us as possible, and I got to be able to communicate that message. And that's why I chose the morning show. Got to talk a lot. So if you can communicate your message, then hopefully we can boil this down into our copywriting, into our sales, into so much of the vision so we can try and grow our business and help and support as many people as possible. All right, communication. Number 9. All right, number 9 on our list is sales. Sales and marketing. Sales and marketing. I'm out of chalk, folks. We are writing a whole bunch this morning. Good morning, good morning. Maybe you're just tuning in with us, but we're rocking through these 10 skills that an entrepreneur needs, and we're on number 9, and we're at sales and marketing. So we got to tell people what it is that we do. Turns out there's not mind readers, and turns out there's not entrepreneurial fairies that are just going to come along and be, here, T-Dog, here's some sales. Here's some sales for you, T-Dog. Here's a big bucket of money right here. We'll put it right in your basket. Turns out we have to go out there and we have to tell people about it. Sales is something that I've struggled with a lot because people will tell me, I don't need your service, don't like it, don't need it, already do that, got an assistant that does it, yada, yada. I'm like, ouch. Okay, moving on to the next. And I've really built that muscle of, hey, it's getting away from sales and getting into service and getting into helping people. People need what I have to offer. People want to be able to have stronger presence online, and they want to be able to get clients online so they can work from home, so they can travel, and they can have the lifestyle that they deserve and they want for their families. That's why we believe that we're helping people get to that point. So that's why it's been really helpful for me personally. And maybe however you're handling sales, or maybe you want to improve your sales skills. But if there was anything that's really helped me and my journey, is just really going from self to service and just helping people. Just, you want to help people. It feels amazing. And we'll always do more for others than ourselves, like we talked about earlier. So sales is really just helping other people. And once that mindset gets fermented, then it's like, I personally just stopped caring when I was messaging people on LinkedIn or when I was calling people in the afternoons and stuff like that. It gets easier with time, I promise. On the marketing side of things, we got to get the word out. Got to get the word out. Got to tell people about what it is I do, what we're doing. And we're essentially a marketing company in a lot of ways. That's really what we're doing here, is we're getting your brand out, your authentic brand out consistently to the right people. We're creating content, we're messaging folks, and we're getting customers. That's really our goal here, and marketing is a huge piece of that. So promotion, sales and marketing. All right, on to our last one is problem solving. Problem solving. Something that we talk about a lot on this show when I have guests on is I'll always ask them, what is your biggest challenge? What is your biggest challenge right now? Maybe you want to write that out. Maybe you can think of a few problems that you're running into. What's that pain right in your ass? What is that pain right in your ass that you have right now? And then how can we figure out a way to alleviate this pain? What can we do? What is that biggest pain in your ass right now that we can work on, understand? Maybe we need to put in a system. Maybe we need to hire an assistant. Maybe we need to pay a freelancer to fix the problem. For example, a bunch of the exercise and worksheets, I wanted to make them like games in my program. I wanted to make them like games. And so they would be more fun. But I have no freaking clue how to build out these softwares and build out these beautifully designed like games within the frameworks of our system. I don't know how to do that. So I paid somebody money to do it for me. This is problem solving, folks. So we want to have these systems and frameworks because will life kick us in the teeth? Pretty much guaranteed. Along the way, there's going to be ups and downs, and we have to be able to solve problems. I think that's really, I saved that one for last, is because that's really the business we're all in as entrepreneurs. Whatever entrepreneurial journey you're on or that you see, what are we doing? We're solving problems for money. That's really it. That's what I pay to have. That's what I pay for, is to have my problem solved. When you think about it, I have a problem of being hungry, so I give the grocery store money. I have a problem that is too far to walk, so I pay for an Uber. I have a problem with creating social media content that's actually going to convert customers, so I hire Tanner. Talk to Tanner. Good morning, everyone. But problem solving is a key part of this. So these were the 10 skills. Let's go ahead, and for today's exercise, I want you to look at these 10 skills, and I want you to pick two. Pick two that you want to work on this week and just journal about them a little bit. So I'm going to pick my own and give a few examples, but your situation is going to be different than mine. The things that are working for you are going to be different than for me. So once you got these 10 skills, we're just going to circle two of the numbers, and then we're just going to journal a little bit about them, on how we can take a step closer to our goals with this. What is our goal with this? Addressing that. So we'll address like the goal. What is the goal or the next step forward? And then just calendar. And then you just want to put it on the calendar. Okay, that says calendar. So goal and calendar. So for me, as we're working through some exercise, you've written down your 10. Let's go ahead and do a run through of what these are. Okay, summary time. So the 10 are, number 1, vision and creativity. Number 2, resilience and persistence. Number 3, adaptability and flexibility. Number 4, risk management. Number 5, leadership. Number 6, networking. Number 7, financial management. Number 8, communication. Number 9, sales and marketing. And number 10, problem solving. So through that list, we are going to circle 2 of them. So for me, I personally want to work on sales and marketing and networking. Okay, sales and marketing and networking. Those are my 2. Your answers are probably going to be different than mine, but these are the 2 that I think I need the most care, attention, and accountability for. There's a lot of things we're all good at, but there's some things that we're not. And to get to that next level, we might just need a little support, a little extra love and attention towards this stuff. So what is the goal for networking? So the goal for networking, think specific as possible. I want to make 30 connections on LinkedIn. Hopefully you guys can read that. It's probably pretty small, but that's my goal for this one, is I just want to network 30 connections on LinkedIn. So that is the goal. And then the calendar, I put that one down because what time are we going to do it? It's so easy to say, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do this then. The best answer is always right now. Like right after I get off this video, I'm chopping right away at it. Best feeling in the world when you take action immediately. strike when the emotion's hot, as Jim Rome used to say. But 30 connections on LinkedIn, and say if that's not possible, you're working another job or you're working for somebody, we got to place it in the calendar somewhere. This is non-negotiable stuff. And we're not going to be those people tardy to the party or canceling or these types of things. We want to be able to put it in the calendar. What time can we do it? So personally, for me, I have a time slot on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays where I do this with a coach. And yes, I pay them money to do this, but it's the only way I've been able to get it done is with sitting in the Zoom call. The coach is right there. Let's get to work. There's something special about that that can't be beat for me. So I just do that. Put it in the calendar. Awesome. All right. Sales and marketing. So for this would be 3 social media posts a day. 3 social posts. 3 social. Okay. If you can read that, 3 social posts a day. So, and then I put that in the calendar. I do this at lunchtime. I'll eat a nice lunch and then bam, for about an hour and a half, 90 minutes, I'm just ripping out social media content, ideas for the show, trying to get guests, these types of things. But you can see that when we address the things that we want to do, the goal with it, and when we can just put it into the calendar and we can improve these skills, I believe it all tends to work together. As we do these things, as we do more sales and marketing, it helps with my communication. And when I improve my communication, it helps with my leadership. And when I am more flexible with myself, I'm easier on myself, it helps me stay more consistent. So this is the framework. These are the 10 skills that I really love and I believe that really set an entrepreneur apart. And I think they're just easy to address and we can just take it. We can't do everything at once. I totally admit I'm not the greatest entrepreneur in the world, but I'm doing my best to just try and be better every single day. I still live in harmony. I still really love my life and try not to take it too serious. It's like, okay, what is going on? These are skills I can work on. I really like networking and sales right now to really focus on and improve. I'm going to focus on these. I'm going to develop these. And as these get better and I get it more under control and I get it to where I want it to go, then I can incorporate maybe reading a few more leadership books or going to a seminar or something like that. Or maybe as we continue to improve, we make more sales, we have more money, then we continue to get more management advice in the financial space on, okay, I want to deploy the capital into this rental property. I want to deploy the capital into these low index funds. I want to deploy capital back into my business. And just as you can see, they all start to work together because as an entrepreneur, in my experience, it's been wearing many hats, a lot of different types of hats, all different times. And it's consistently inconsistent, but you got to stay consistent if any of that made sense. But entrepreneurship is pretty messy, but taking messy action is when it's in alignment with my vision and what I believe I really want out of this life. I think it makes it all worth it. And I'm just excited to be on the journey. And I hope this was helpful for you. I hope this is helpful for you on your journey. And if you guys really like my content or the video from today, please share it on one of your favorite social medias or give it a like or a comment or something. It really helps with the algorithm and makes me really happy. It really inspires me to continue to keep working on as we're moving forward. So cheers, friends. That's all I had. What skill are you going to improve this week? Go ahead, pick a few, journal about it, even talk to me, send me a direct message about it if you want to chat with me, or there is a link in the description to meet with me if you would like to book a call and just chat about entrepreneurship, chat about social media and content, trying to get clients online, but I'll leave that up to you folks. That's all I have for today. I'll be live again Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time with another episode of the Talk to Your Morning Show, where we're going to be going over another coaching exercise. It's going to be really fun. So tune in, get another exercise on personal development. And Wednesday, I have one of my new friends. He lives in London. He'll be on the show this week. It'll be really fun. So excited to talk to him as we're moving forward. Thanks, friends. That's all I got. You guys stay amazing. Keep kicking butt. We're going to have an awesome week this week. Pick a few skills to improve because we're always improving, because if we're not growing, we're dying. Cheers, friends. You guys have a great day. Peace out.